welcome to another interesting edition of Home Truth Nigeria. Today, I want to talk on a topic called the picky nature of Nigerian men when selecting a partner. Now, when it comes to finding a partner or the right woman, Nigerian men can be very picky or selective. A typical Nigerian man doesn't just marry you because he loves you alone or because you're beautiful or you think you have a good body. No, that's not the case. They would always go for a woman that fits their criteria, the expectation they want from a woman. That's why most times a lot of Nigerian men have this imaginary list, not just their own personal lists, but an imaginary list of what they want from a woman and what their family supposedly expect them to present as a partner. Now a lot of you might be wondering, so how does this concern me? Well, it's important to understand this why Nigerian men are picky because it helps you to basically know your stand in his life. Now, it doesn't matter if you've spent all your money on him. A lot of you have spent money on a Nigerian guy. You've bought him, you've brought him to your country. You got him an apartment. You furnished the apartment. Even a lot of you have gone as far as having a child for him. So long as he's not married to you, the chances of him walking out on you is very high. Most times, a lot of you are living in what I call the borrowed time. Now, for instance, if you got kids and this man hasn't had kids, or you can't give him kids, you're on borrowed time. If you're way older than him and you're expecting something miraculous to happen, you're on borrowed time. Now, if you're way older than him and you're broke, you're finished. This guy would leave you at the end of the day. So it is very important and realistically for you to know your stand so as to know how far you want to go with the Nigerian man. Because tomorrow he may not pick or choose to settle down with you, irrespective of everything you've done for him. And that reason you should know this is so that you don't waste your money and time. A lot of you are wasting money and precious time for nothing. What a lot of you do is you look for a guy, a younger guy, you invest on this guy because you know that physically you're older and in a lot of time you can't give this guy what they want. So what you try to do is that you try to use money as an alternative, to get this guy. Listen, if you're doing this, you're wasting your precious time. You're wasting your time and you're wasting your money. The truth of the matter is that no matter how much you spend on him, no matter how much you try to make him look good, how much you try to tush him up, how much you try to make him live conducive, the truth of the matter is that if you don't fit in that criteria, he's not going to pick you. He's not going to select you because Nigerian men are very picky. So it's important for you, to know all of this. So this brings me to the question why a lot of you, would ask, so if he has no plans to settle with me, why is he dating me? Now, a lot of you are like, okay, but if these guys are very picky, why is he writing me on Facebook, on dating apps, knowing that I'm older than him and also promising me he wants to be with me forever and ever and all of that? Well, the first reason is because one, you are a means to an end. Basically, you are useful for a certain purpose. Aside this purpose that you are useful, you are considered, I'm sorry to say, useless. Now, if you take away the fact that you're sending him money or you've promised to bring him to your country, you would see that you basically have nothing to offer this guy. So your usefulness only boils down to the fact that this guy relies on you either for survival or to get away from Africa. So when you start a relationship with this guy and the next thing, he starts asking you for money. He tells you his brother is sick, the mother fell into the toilet, the brother vanished and all of that. They need money to do this and to do that. That is your usefulness. Aside that, you're useless. I'm sorry to say. So this is the reason why they consider to date you, but they would not consider to settle with you on the long run. Another reason why it's important for you to understand this is because of family disapproval. Now, family disapproval is another reason why a lot of Nigerian guys could date you and end up not settling with you. Now, family disapproval is a huge thing. Now, there are a lot of Nigerian men who actually want to be with a lot of you ladies, irrespective of the age difference, irrespective of your status, either you're a single mother or you've got kids with different men, there are a lot of Nigerian men who want to be with you. But when they look back and they think about family and traditional core values, they would find it very hard, to commit themselves with you. They become conflicted at that point. You know, a lot of them don't want to be this person, who brings in the wrong woman into the family. So if this guy sees and knows that the family would not accept you, if he understands that, okay, your lifestyle and all the things you have gone through in life is not fit into the family, at the end of the day, he would not want to be with you. He would go and select another lady that totally fits what the family wants. He may not actually love that lady, but he could actually pick a lady that fits what the supposed ideal wife is. So it's very important to understand this, that a lot of them actually do love you, but because of family disapproval, they don't want to settle with you. Another reason why a lot would date you and not settle with you is what I call the family reputation and respect. Africans and Nigerians are very big in terms of names and respect. In fact, there are families that won't allow, their sons to marry a lady that is not a university graduate. There are families where they say, oh, if you must marry, make sure the woman is a professional, make sure she's a university graduate, make sure she's a working class lady. There are families like that. There are families that would not allow their sons to bring in a lady who is divorced, a lady who's been married before, or a lady who even has a child for another man. A lot of family considers, they consider these things, to be kind of a stain to their name. Guess what? If you meet a man who's coming from such family, he may date you because of all the good things you offer on bed, and also maybe with money and all of that. But when it comes to settling down with you, he may go look for that particular lady that befits the family's reputation and that will bring respect to the family. So this is one unfortunate situation, because a lot of them don't want to be like that guy who is going to bring the wrong woman home and introduce to the father. Bring a lady, you know. I know of a boy when he introduced his Dutch girlfriend, and the family told him, "Look, we don't divorce in this family. So whatever you're doing, just make sure that this doesn't end in divorce. Nobody in our lineage has ever gone through a divorce. It's a name we pride ourselves on, and make sure it doesn't happen to you." So you could have all of these things happening, and it's important for you to understand this, that am I welcomed in this family or I'm not welcome in this family? So you as a lady, you would, know how to go with this relationship, because you don't just want to be in a situation whereby, okay, you do everything you can with this guy, and then at the end of the day, this dude, he turns his back on you because of his family reputation and family name. Like I said, family reputation and family name is very, 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 very deep in Africa. We take our name, family name, so important. Africans and Nigerians, we take our family name so important. Now, a lot of you would ask, how do I know my stand? A lot of you've met guys online who promise you marriage, but for one thing or the other, it looks like, okay, things are going so fast. You find yourself, because of the way things are going so fast, you kind of like, you commit yourself into the guy, you commit yourself with that guy because he has said a lot of things you want to hear. Now, the truth is, it is very important. So at the end of the day, you don't cry, to understand or know your stand. And one way to understand and know your stand is to first of all look at the family background of that guy. You need to understand if he's coming from a very strict religious home, or he's coming from a very strict traditional home. Now, if he's coming from a very strict traditional home and you're divorced or a single mother, there is a slight chance that you could be judged because you're divorced. We live in a society whereby if a marriage fails, the blame goes to the woman. We live in a society whereby if a woman has a child with a man out of wedlock, or maybe the man did is somewhere society looks down on the woman to say, okay, she was loosed and all of that. So you could be judged religiously, traditionally, if they're very strict. So it's important for you to understand this background. Ask question, understand what the family think. Before you start, committing yourself into, spending your money, your time. Understand if you as an individual will be accepted. If you're a lady who is a single mother, understand if they would accept you as well as accept the son or the child you had with another man into that family. It's very important for you to do so. Don't just assume because the guy has told you, oh, no problem, it's not a problem. We would accept you or not. No, you don't have to live on that. It's very important for you to know if they will accept you. So when I talk of acceptance, I'm not talking of acceptance that comes because of you splashing money. In this case, anybody would accept you, because there are a lot of ladies who speak to me say, oh, well, I went to I spoke to the mother on phone, everything went well, they love me, they called me their daughter. In fact, they gave me a Nigerian name. I went to Nigeria, I saw them in person. They made me an African cloth. I ate their food. They start calling me their African name and stuff. My sister, on all of these things, how much did you spend? That's the thing. How much have you spent on that guy? Would they treat you this way if you've not spent any money on this guy? If they treat you this way if you've not spent any money on this guy and the family, then good. They've accepted you. But if you are spending a lot of money, indirectly you're buying your acceptance into this family. Indirectly, that's what you're basically doing. You're buying your acceptance in this family, because you need to know if you are basically welcome into this family genuinely without you spending so much money, or you're welcome because of what falls out of your pockets. So, guys, I'm not trying to spoil your mood, just that we can be very picky when it comes to settling down. You know, there are a lot of you that you've dated Nigerian men as long as Fidel Castro was the president of Cuba. And I can tell you that it's not a guarantee that that guy will settle with you. It would take him just a single text or a phone call, to end everything with you. And in most cases, he's not going to make it look like he didn't want to be with you. It's going to look like the family didn't consider you the proper choice because they picked or they favored another lady. So it's very important that you do your grand job. Understand if you will be accepted. Know your stand. And while you're knowing your stand, don't burn money, don't throw away money and your precious time. So, with that, guys, if you have any question to ask, anything to say, you want to share your stories or ask me questions, you can always write me on hometruth86@gmail.com. With that, I would like to say thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Over to Nigeria. Peace out.